Hello everybody, it's me, Boy Plus Minecraft, back with another video, and in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to make the most epic Piglin Bartering farm ever. So, without further ado, let's get right into the video. So I'm not exactly sure if this video is going to be a tutorial or just a showcase of this farm, but it's probably going to be a little bit of both. So this is a compact Piglin Bartering farm, where every hour the farm can produce 960 trades. So that is why we have, I think each of these is like 10 chests. So that is why we have 40 chests to store all of the different trades that you're going to get in 1 hour of trading. So how this works is, in here we have the piglins, and normally you would build this in the nether so that they can't despawn, but pretty much we have the piglins trapped in a 4x4 space so that they can't move, and then above it we have a dispenser full of gold, and above that we have some observers that activate the dispensers on a periodic basis. And right here I built a little redstone clock that every 15 seconds activates and toggles the dispensers, meaning that this is the fastest possible trade time. So as you see, that guy just traded and then he immediately got a new piece of gold. Now this is rather expensive if you are trying to build it in survival, but I'm going to walk you through how I built it so that you can build your own. Also, here are the materials that you will need. Like I said, it is very expensive, and if this is going a little bit too fast for you, then this list will also be in the description. So pretty much what you're going to do is you're going to want to build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to want to build a tower of 5 double chests up. And then on a around a 4x4 area, you're going to want to keep building them. And this is just for the storage section, so you could really hook this up to any storage system you want. This is just the most compact and convenient for me. Then what you're going to want to do, you're going to want to place a bunch of hoppers going into one side of the chest. So you're going to want to keep doing this for each row of chests, so that each hopper at this top section will go into a different collection system. So as you can see, that one goes into here, and this one goes into here. Okay, so you're also going to want some soul sand, and you place the soul sand on the top. And this is because soul sand is not actually a full block. So if you really wanted to, you could actually use honey blocks as well, although that's kind of pointless because they're rather expensive. So pretty much the idea is you throw something on the top, and because it's not a full block, the hopper will collect it. But because you're going to be building this in the nether, soul sand is the best option. You could really also use anything that's rather tall. So like you could also use like end portal frames, which is weird. So yeah, we're not going to do that. We're just going to use the soul sand. You're going to want to get like a filler block, and you're going to want to build one block up. And this is so that you can place your trapdoors in kind of a diagonal pattern like that, so that you can make a little cross, so that these are the different pens that the piglins will be in. Okay, so it's at this time that you're going to want to get each and every piglin inside. So what I'm just going to do, I'm going to get some blocks. So you will normally be doing this in the nether, and it's impossible to build this in the overworld actually, unless you have commands, because otherwise the piglins will turn into zombified piglins. Luckily, I have a little command right here that just lets me spawn in non-zombifiable ones. If you want me to, I will put this link in the description, but it's impossible to do in survival Minecraft. So there, now you have each piglin in its pen, and they can't move. So what I did is, I did put some decorations around it, but what you could do, you could put some glass so that you can see what the piglins are actually doing. And yeah, that's pretty much the piglin pen area. Then this is the most important part. You're going to want to get your filler block, as well as your dispensers and some observers. And this is a little bit more complicated than it may appear to be at the start. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to build a roof over the piglins, and then you can't really do this in survival, so you might want to do this part before you put the piglins in. You're going to want to put these upside down in here. and you don't want the piglins getting out, so you need to make sure they can't escape when you break their roof. So if you have this, you can't do that, otherwise they could walk right out. But there. Then we have that, and then you may think that we might want to put the observers right on top, like this, so that when we activate the observer, activates the dispenser. But that's actually not the case, because then it will activate the trapdoors, and you're going to be in a whole lot of trouble. So what we're actually going to do, we're going to power the block above the dispensers, so that we're going to hard power these blocks, so that powers the dispenser without powering all of the blocks that the dispensers are touching. Mumbo Jumbo has a great video on this if you want to go over and check that out. But we're going to just place these upside down so that the face of the dispenser is facing upward. And now we have our dispensing system. So this is slightly different than you may imagine it, but it's pretty simple. So then what we're going to do, we're going to put some redstone on top, and this is going to activate the dispensers. But then what you're going to want to do, you're going to want to fill each and every dispenser with gold. And you could just fill it like this, and this is a rather bare bones design, so this will work just as well as that one over there, but that one looks cooler and it's a little bit more contained. But also a difference with this one is, you see these chests right here? These are actually containment chests. Yep, so you're just going to want to fill in these chests, and this part is optional, but if you don't want to have to keep filling the chest with gold every single time, you are going to want to put these in. And then you are going to probably want a gold farm before you build this, and there are some pretty good tutorials, and you're just going to want to fill this with as much gold as you can. It doesn't need to be all the way full, but pretty much the idea is that when the dispensers run out, the gold from these chests will fill the dispenser automatically. And it doesn't really matter how much you put in as long as each dispenser is full. So look, when I take it out, more gold comes in. So I'm just going to put that back. And there we go. So that is the most of the farm done. But now we need to build the clock. And this is a clock that is a toggle clock. So as you can see, it's on right now, but it doesn't actually matter that it's on. It just matters that the state of the redstone changes so that the observers can detect it. So what we're going to need for this is we're going to need a redstone block, a sticky piston, a few pieces of redstone dust, a comparator, a hopper, and 16 blocks of any choice you want. So then what we're going to do, just up here, we're going to build a little 4x4 area, and then we're going to have 2 hoppers facing into each other and 2 comparators facing away. And pretty much this is so that when you put one in, it travels back and forth. And you'll see how this is helpful in a minute. Then we're going to make these comparators directly power these blocks, which power this redstone, which will power these sticky pistons, which will move this redstone block back and forth. And then what we're going to want to do, we're going to want to take a stack and divide it in 2 twice so that we have 16, and we're going to put 16 in randomly. So now this is perfectly timed so that every 15 seconds this will change. So now what we're going to want to do, we're going to want to put a piece of redstone dust right there, and then we're going to want to move this around so that it goes down in this way, so that now it's powering this. So now the farm is working. So if we watch, these guys will trade, and it is perfectly timed. Well, actually, it's not perfectly timed right now because we did it a little bit late, but after about 2 cycles, it will be all completely perfectly timed. Just a quick note real quick. Sometimes it takes a tiny bit for the item to actually get through the soul sand, and in that time the piglins can pick up the item, and they won't be able to pick up any gold. So what you may want to do is you can modify the design so that you have the normal hoppers, but above the hoppers you have a rail and a hopper and minecart, and then above that you have either the soul sand or just the normal block. So it will go through ever so slightly quicker, and you could have the piglins just stand directly on top of the hoppers, but then they can be inside of the hoppers like this, and sometimes they still won't pick it up if you do that. Yeah, so you may want to use this design instead. But now, back to regularly scheduled programming. Yeah, so I've been doing this for just about 2 minutes, and we already have a bunch of really good trades. Now, the three single best trades from this are your gravel, your obsidian, and they actually do occasionally trade quartz, which is very useful. So if you want to go and make this link up to an item sorter somewhere over here or something, then you can go ahead and do that. But that is really all there is to the farm. Now, it's a pretty simple farm, and it's the fastest possible speed at which they can trade. So anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed the video and found it helpful, please consider dropping a like because it really shows that I did a good job. If you would consider subscribing, that would also be great because recently, for obvious reasons, because of quarantine, I've been uploading a little bit more often, so that should be good. So thanks guys, and I will see you all in the next video. See ya!